Alright, so hello everyone, and today we will be playing Prussia in Hearts of Iron 4 using the In the Name of the Tsar mod. I'm gonna play in regular without the historical focuses just because it seems to be quite a lot more fun when you really don't know what's gonna happen. So the In the Name of the Tsar mod is all about Russia winning the First World War. I think it was in 1916 during the Galicia offensive when they basically completely shattered the Austro-German forces, or the Germans of Austria, and the German Empire at that time. We're gonna play Prussia. Obviously, Germany and Austria have been split up. The Austrian sort of division is a more common sight, but obviously splitting up Germany into various sort of spheres of influence is very interesting. Obviously, even France has Saarland and Mosselland. The basic division is that the sort of more monarchist and more, I guess in this game they're called authoritarian countries or sort of blocks created the Berlin Pact against the Bavarian or the Southern Commune, which is of course in Bavaria, and created a Comintern. And yes, we'll be playing as Prussia just because they do seem to be the more interesting faction. And of course it's Prussia. You have to play as Prussia because Prussia is absolutely badass. But you know, I guess it comes down to sort of preference. But I do think that the Prussians have a little bit of an advantage here. I don't know, let's just build something here that really. We could also go for infrastructure, but I think at the beginning it's fairly okay just to go with the sort of standard stuff. I do plan on having quite a lot of tanks, so that's going to be that, but I think we can bump that down because we do need also some artillery and what else? Oh yeah, support equipment. At the beginning we don't actually need that many. Actually, let's go for Russia. Or maybe actually we're probably gonna wage a war against them quite soon, so let's not go with well, not quite soon, but the way that the focus trees pan out in this game, it usually ends up with you being at war with Russia when you play as Prussia, which is something that's a little bit annoying, but ultimately I guess it doesn't matter. Let's just go for a destroyer and battleship. You know, we have battleships too, which is quite good, even though we're sort of defeated. So let's bump it out to max, and yeah, we have everything. We also need, however, to start recruiting divisions, because they're going to be quite important in the upcoming civil war. And also let's train some panzer divisions, but we can't train as many, obviously. So let's do this. The one thing that's actually kind of annoying a little bit about this mod is that when you take a look at the Prussian, or more rather the German focus tree, you see that it's not very big. It's okay. It's sort of medium size, I would say. Same with Bavaria. Basically, it's even a little bit maybe smaller, which is quite curious for such a unique faction. You look at France, you know, standard stuff, usually the same size. But then you take a look at Turkey's focus tree, and it's enormous. You have so many options to do stuff and everything. So you know, there seems to be quite a bit of bias. When you take a look at the Russian focus tree, which Russia is the main focus of this whole thing, along with the German factions. It's even smaller compared to the Turkish one. And you know, Turkey, I'm not saying it's like an irrelevant country. I'm just saying it's a little bit curious that Turkey gets so much focus, you know, compared to like Austria, which is one of the main defeated nations. It's basically the same size as the French or the Prussian one. I'm not saying like that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it. For example, the Prussian focus tree. Let's take a look at it. Basically, when you do all this stuff and you reunify, you have no choice but to go fascist. There's absolutely no choice to stick with the Prussian tradition, or to stick with authoritarianism, or to even go, you know, communist, something like that. There's just no choice, but you have to go fascist, which is sort of strange, because you start off really heavily authoritarian, you know, with sort of friendly with what's their face, well, with Russia, and just overnight you go authoritarian. No, you go from authoritarian to fascist, which, you know, with Austria, there's a 50-50 split right from the beginning, and they should have done something like that with, I think, with Prussia also, because this is just a little bit strange to me. Let's go with the army innovations right off the bat. Probably be very useful. And yeah, so when it comes to researching and doing stuff like this, it's fairly straightforward. Let's go for concentrated, because I don't think there's going to be much aerial bombardment, considering we have only 250 planes, and the main enemy we're going to be facing has... well, they already Anschlussed that part. They have 200. So, yeah, not much when it comes to... they already Anschlussed Hessen, which is sort of strange. The AI usually doesn't do it so early, but I suppose it's okay. We're gonna have to start Anschlussing our little vassals as well. Niederdeutschland and Saxony. But yeah, let's continue on, and let's see what they're doing. So they did the Spanish Civil War. It always so they did the march into the Rhine, focus 3. Then they have to do the Swabian uprising, and then we actually have to trigger the Civil War. There's no, I don't think there's a way that the commies have to, maybe death to Niederdeutschland. Yeah, just death to Niederdeutschland. So basically, if we let them build up too long, then they also gain this area, which is of course bad for us, considering we want it as well. So let's go for construction, I guess. This point we should probably go for war industrialists, just to get these. Yeah, we should go for the captain of industry, but doesn't matter right now. Doesn't matter right now. So let's see what they're going. If they're going for the Anschluss of these, of this also, then no, develop the Rhine. But we could do Siegfried Wall right now. I think I'm gonna go Anschluss Saxony, because Saxony, what they usually do is they don't tend to focus on the industrial side of things, which is very unfortunate. However, Niederdeutschland does. And so I'll let Niederdeutschland build up a little bit, I guess. You know, give them, I guess, one more focus, and then we'll Anschluss them as well. Because they, of course, are extremely useful. Can't really do anything. Let's go for the artillery. And yeah, let's give Rundstedt a better color. Let's give him black, like, you know, Prussian or something like that. But yeah, this mod in general, I think, is one of my favorites of all time, because it's very unique. You know, you have, instead of Czechoslovakia, you have Slovakia and the Czech Republic. It's very similar to Kaiserreich, except Russia, except, you know, the Western powers aren't as noteworthy. You know, for once, actually the East, the sort of Central and Eastern Europe, is more interesting. So what are the commies doing? They should be Anschlussing those guys. So we are going to, let's build the Siegfried Wall, I guess. No, let's develop the Autobahn so we can do this. You could Anschluss Niederdeutschland. So how many guys do we have? We have, where is that? It's here. We have 144k, and we need 150. How's the recruitment going? Yeah, we should have it in a little while. Let's give it to these guys and something like this, this, and this. That should be okay. Yeah, let's go for the Reichsautobahn and go for that. Go for that side of the focus tree. They're going for Swabian uprising, and yeah, really, I hope they don't do a death to Niederdeutschland, but I think they have some sort of like... No, they haven't actually gone for Gonnes Wall yet. I don't think. Let's check. No, they don't have any fort lines anywhere. So, yeah, we'll just grab Niederdeutschland and just wait a while and let them grind themselves up against the Siegfried line. See what the French are doing. They're going with marine effort. They haven't picked a political side yet, which is quite unfortunate. If the French actually go fasci, then you have quite an advantage. Because it obviously lets you... Can we do war? No, we can't. Because it lets you do quite a lot of very neat stuff when you have France in your focus. You're basically once you have Germany and France on your side, you can just run amok on like the United Kingdom and even Russia, because the French obviously are quite powerful in this mod. They do still have quite a lot of their like really bad national traits, but if you actually manage to get Italy on your side also, it's quite good, because they tend to go, fascist coup, they tend to put Mussolini in power right away, which is, that's obvious. We can need Deutschland now. Let's do that. So we're gonna do that, then we're going to build a Siegfried Wall. We're gonna build up for a while, and then we're gonna kill the communists in the south, which is, that's the usual strategy. As Germany, you just kill the commies. That's how it usually goes anyway. So we aren't actually building any planes, which isn't a big deal, because the planes don't actually play a big role at all in this upcoming war, because neither of us have any planes at all. And yeah, so let's see, they doing industrialize Württemberg. Yeah, that's usually how that goes, I guess. I've played like once or twice as Prussia just to see how stable this mod is, and when playing as Prussia, because sometimes when you play like the French scenario, where France, Napoleon won, or basically however that mod goes, sometimes the German Civil War causes the game to crash. I don't know why. It's just kind of strange. It's actually interesting that this mod doesn't just immediately start you off as okay, so now they're building the wall, so we should also build a Siegfried Wall. You're building a wall and make Prussia pay for it. Yes, let's do this, and we should probably change the division templates to our division templates, because their divisions are really bad, or not really bad, but just not quite up to par. There's only one. That will probably be the Saxon one, and yeah, that's it. So 30 divisions, which gonna take a while to build up, but yeah, so I think I'll just skip ahead when we're actually fighting the commies. Alright, so I just completed your reunification, Jesus, and yeah, so this is exactly what I was talking about. So we completed the reunification, we're still authoritarian, and we are the German state, which is all nice and dandy, but immediately we get to the event a new Führer, which we have to decide. We either want Hermann Goering or Kaiser Wilhelm III, and since Wilhelm III grants a little bit more national unity, I'll go for him. But immediately, as you can see, we're switched to fascist, and we have no way of actually altering this at all. We are forced to go fascist, which is quite the disappointment, because I would love to actually continue on as Prussia, or maybe the German Empire as more of an authoritarian figure, because this is just basically now playing, when you conquer the commies, you're just playing the German Reich from from the base game, and you actually can go for like democratic reformer or you know, stuff like that, but it's still incredibly annoying that you can't actually just go and continue on with the you know, the Prussian way of doing things, or the more royalist way of doing things, which is quite ultimately annoying. But can we actually invite we can't actually invite Ostrike. Why? Because we are not at war. So let's yeah, let's just, we have the war goal. Let's just declare war against the Southern Commune. Can we now invite Austria? No. But actually we could probably use the planes here just to defend or something. I don't know. We actually have, yeah, we have some other planes from, probably from like Niederdeutschland or something like that. But yeah, let's just use it to defend, and let's watch the Bavarians throw themselves against our oh, they actually aren't. They 0 forts. How many men do they have? They have between 35 and 70 divisions. Guys, let's just build up more and let's wait for their attack. I'm not really in a hurry to yeah, now they're attacking. Brilliant. This is exactly what we want, because we have better defenses than they have. Their sort of line only extends to this region, and while our line is basically all the regions throughout the entire border. So let's just give them a while. Let's go for war economy, obviously, and let's just give them a while to completely annihilate all their units. As you can see, quite effective at it, and we should be able to just completely ransack them. Oh, we actually are losing here, so let's just send a few troops there to help defend that region. There we go. We're actually losing here, so let's just send these guys there. Hopefully let's go back. Still losing. Quite a disappointment. Yes, let's just send a few more troops there. Let's just send all these troops to the lines. Oh, they actually managed to take that region. Quite annoying. But I don't think it's going to be that difficult to just take it back. So let's just activate the battle plan and let's rush them back. They did take a few regions from us here, but since they have such heavy casualties, they took 200,000 more casualties than we did. I think it's going to be quite easy to just completely annihilate them now. What do we take? I guess just go for the MP-38s. Here we could just give a few more to that, and then a couple more for the tanks. Losing. I guess we're just gonna have to bump up the oil and rubber production. I'm probably going to make some refineries though, so that's going to be completely okay. Send more units to the fronts. I actually have some motorized divisions now, which is quite good. This civil war, it's fairly easy if you sort of hold on to your divisions. Here we can actually split them off quite easily. So we cut their forces in half, which is quite good because you get resupplied obviously from the capital. We got 60 and 299, so we're obviously doing quite a bit better than they are. And tanks, let's not do that yet. Actually, let's go for those guys. China joined the Western Coalition. Quite interesting. So what's France doing? Have they yet gone for? No, but they're fortifying the German border, which is quite annoying. So how's the war going? Still holding on, as I see. These communists quite annoying. Let's go and just bomb rush Munich with that tank. There we go. We should probably take, how long are they? They are 99%. So we really need to take just like a village or something. I don't know. Let's just go for these guys. Let's just go for Köln. Köln? I guess that's how you pronounce it. And yeah, let's just take these tiles, because can we now invite Austria? Can't. Huh, annoying. Because Austria, you know, sort of again, a united Central Powers would be really powerful to try and take on Russia or Hungary or even France with. So there we go, taken. So, it's a German victory, nice. Just pass a bunch, take it all, nice. So, Germany is reunified, and it didn't even hurt, not a single bit. Didn't actually check our final losses, but it was probably, maybe like 90,000 men, while they lost probably 500,000, I'm willing to bet. Yes, let's get an extra light tank thing going. We're probably going to go for medium tanks down the line, but right now it doesn't matter. Let's go for this, and like that. Should be okay. Prepare sort of an extra line for the infantry equipment that we're going to need. And right now we're just probably going to wait. One thing that's actually really annoying about this complete reunification that makes you fascist is that you can't actually befriend Russia, because or join the Eastern Coalition, because they, at this point, they're always or mostly going to be, yeah, they're still going to be authoritarian, because that focus tree is just better for them, and it's very rare that they actually ever go fascist. I mean, sure they can, but it's unusual for them. So we're probably going to have to go to war with France and then Russia. That's at least how usually these things go. So there we go. Why is it split off? I want a single formation like that. Yep, that's exactly what I want. And yeah, let's assign all our divisions to the French border. And yeah, I think in the next couple of videos, or next video, whatever, something like that, we're actually going to take out France. But we'll have to see how things go. If we actually manage to get a faction with Austria, that would be great. But they did support the monarchy. So I think that they do have actually restore relations with us, so we'll have to see how things go. But as of right now, we are fully restored. The German Empire, I guess it would be the Kaiserreich, wouldn't it? Because we do actually have a Kaiser. Is fully restored, and yeah, Crown Prince Wilhelm is looking as beautiful as ever. So anyway, thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.